Well, last episode was entertaining, wasn't it? And we left it on a massive cliffhanger. Would I stay at Sevilla, move to Spurs, or move to Barcelona? We're no longer at Sevilla, and we're also no longer in Spain. Don't unsubscribe, but I am now officially Tottenham Hotspur manager. Yeah, it's happened. I finally bit the bullet. We have arrived in the Premier League. Obviously, at the end of the last episode, we talked about why I would want to leave Sevilla, or was more like being forced out of Sevilla due to the financial restrictions that were there. Spurs came up, but then so did Barcelona. I went for the Barcelona job. I held off on taking the Spurs job until I found out about Barcelona. Unfortunately, I didn't even get an interview. They just said I was unsuccessful straight from the start because I didn't have enough reputation. So therefore, I've made the jump to a more reputable team, according to the game, than Sevilla. That Cheney's from WD-40. It's squeaky, just like my bum is right now, because this is a big gamble. I had a good thing going on at Sevilla. It's been a busy summer. Because when they said we were going to be rich, yeah, we were. But it's Daniel Levy, isn't it? So I've got 140 million in the bank, transfer budget of 19 million. We're a very well-run club. Problem with being a very well-run club by Daniel Levy is that you don't spend a lot of money. Actually, I can't necessarily say that's true. I've spent a fair bit of money. It's just the fact that I brought in a shed load as well. The best thing about this is that you're not really going to know many of the players that I've sold or bought in. I'll go you through the big ones. We have sold a number of players for a lot of money. Cedric Gay is a new gen. Sold him because he is a winger. And there was a lot of Champions League fallout because we have a lot of Champions League quality players that didn't, funnily enough, want to play in the Europa League too. So I said, okay, if people match their valuation, I'll let you go. That's happened a lot. So Cedric Gay went for 65 million. Leonidas Sturgeon, who's actually a real player, has gone to Manchester United. He has gone for 50 million, rising up to 69 million. Jesus Vasquez has gone. He went for a lot of money to Juventus for 30 million. Regent Ronaldo's gone. Basically, I bought in a lot of money. You can tell they're 264 million pounds to be exact. A lot of players have gone. I've also brought in, though, a number of players. Not probably as many as I'd like, but you can tell there's a few. There's a 90 million and 80 million pounds, which is something I never would have spent at Sevilla. So I'm going to introduce you to a couple of the new Spurs. We'll start off with a couple of loans. Gabriel Bartoli is number one. I bought him in just as a kind of like deep line playmaker midfield cover. I've still got a few transfers I've got planned. I'm just letting another few people go out as it stands to generate the funds for it because Levy won't give me any more money. So this is something I'm going to have to get used to. But fortunately, we don't really have that many competitions to worry about this year. We got the Europa League too, but I don't care about winning that. And I think my backup brigade could win that, to be honest. In terms of Gabriel Bartoli, pretty decent. On loan from Inter Milan. Just a good ball-carrying midfielder. Nothing special. We all knew I was going to do it. Carlos Santalo, glad I didn't book him in for Sevilla because then I've managed to go and get him at Tottenham. We all know what we get with Santalo. Top quality player. In terms of the Sevilla boys, there aren't any from Sevilla because, funnily enough, they're not particularly happy that I left. I tried to get Sebas. I tried to get Robles. Sebas is still there. Robles went to Barcelona, even though they offered him less money. I actually met the release clause, and then Sevilla did it just to spite me and accepted a bit of £1 million less. So, they're pricks. One for the future here in Velazar Dilchovsky, who looks like he could be a very good centre-back or full-back, depending on whatever it is he wants to be. Got him on a free, but he's away at Kane on loan this year. Now, this is where things start getting a bit interesting. Okay, so I bought in Ignacio Flores. Now, Ignacio Flores is a right-back who looks particularly quite good. He's got some lovely little attributes here. Offensively and technically not brilliant. Mentally very good for what he is. And physically very good indeed. Very small, though, only 164 centimetres high. But he's 21 years old. Hopefully he'll grow a bit. Unlikely. The best thing about him is that I got him for a bargain, £11.5 million. And he is the backup right-back, not my first-team right-back. I also then bought in Luis Guilherme, who's a very good player. I bought him in from Liverpool for £33.5 million. Obviously, you can tell the value has gone up, which is a good thing. Mentally, absolutely superb in every single way. Technically as well, it's got them where you want them. First touch to 17 is good, 16 passing, 17 technique. Very good. Physically as well, pretty capable, pretty decent height, decent strength, decent stamina, decent fitness, decent balance. He looks very, very solid and a good option in that midfield section, which was already relatively strong. But then we come on to the big three. And these big three, this is the difference between what I can get at Sevilla and what I can get at Tottenham Hotspur. First up is Iran Almaraz. And oh my God, as a defender, a wingback, look at him. Just look at him. I got him for £60 million. Look at him. His physicals are insane. His mentals are insane. His technicals are also insane. He can get better. He's only 19. He's 19 years old. Brought him in from Benfica, who bought him from America originally. And just wow. Just drink him in. He's not even the best player I bought. Also to point out, he's got 34 caps at the age of 19. Incredible. A player I've already bought before, but we never saw him. Might be the best goalkeeper in the game. Nedeljko Bogdanovic. We never saw him in the game. You remember where I bought him for? Pop quiz. It was Fiorentina. But yeah, I bought him for Fiorentina on a free. And I bought him for £80 million. If I was Fiorentina manager, I'd be absolutely delighted. I matched his release clause in order to get him in because Alisson left and went to Barcelona because he wanted to play Champions League football. He's conceded less than his appearances in a team that wasn't particularly playing that well in the Serie A for the last few years. I think £80 million for this guy genuinely is a snip. He's 22 years old. He's 22 years old and he is this good. He's this good at 22. It's not right how good he is. I think Bogdanovic is probably the best signing, but the one that I bought for £90 million is Jean-Jacques Pie, which I think is a great name because, I mean, I love Pie. What's not to like? As a defender, he's pretty exceptional, really. I mean, his heading is the only thing that lets him down a little bit at 12. He's a little bit short, but I think as a ball-playing defender, he's absolutely brilliant. And I got him again in from Benfica, who must have made an absolute whopping amount of money off me this time, around £150 million to be exact. But I bought him, like I said, for £90 million. He played brilliantly last year at 7.39, which is literally incredible. I think he could be majestic, absolutely majestic. And there are still transfers that are going on. You can tell here I'm trying to get Renier in on a loan. There's a chap here called Dean Bates, who's one of our regens, who looks really good, but he wants to go because he's not sure about game time. So Hoffenheim have offered £54 million for him. I think that's a really good deal. I can take that because there's another guy I can get in, who's this boy, Matthias Smet, who looks like he could be just as good. Pedro Gonçalves is here, but he wants to leave for Champions League football. He's 31. I'm happy to let him go. He could be on his way to Porto. So, Judas, or what? Tell me about it. And there's a few more players I'm keeping an eye out on for loan, and I might try and get in some more general bodies for cheaper wages. But we've also got a very good club here and a load of really good players. I need a backup goalkeeper. That is number one on my list because Luke Southwood is absolutely tragic. So, I'll sort that. Then we got Lorenzo Perola, who's obviously a real-life player. He's going to be partnering up with Pai at the back to start the season. Looks like he could be very good. We've got another player here in Aaron Driven, a player I really wanted to get. He can play anywhere across the back four, so he's amazing. Very happy with that. A great player here in Matej Zilic, who looks like he could be flipping amazing. Like a kind of very, very good Nemanja Matic. I think that's how I look at him. He's quite tall, reads the game really well, great physicals, decent technicals, could be amazing, not going to get you a lot of goals. A good player here called Roberto, who I probably would sell. I might actually sell him, he's not that good. A lot of people want him on loan, but I might genuinely sell him actually, because he doesn't look that great. Velez could get better. Again, very decent wing-back, can also play a centre-back with 17 pace. I'm quite happy about that, he looks quite solid. There's a chap here called Harvey White, who's a real player. I'm happy to sell him. Not particularly bothered about keeping him. He's decent, but nothing special. I'm not going to go through every player, but our left back is a chap called Andy Harwood. He looks like he could be quite good. Seabass will eventually replace him. Seabass is the end game. Seabass is the end game goal. I offered £100 million to Seabass, and they still said no. But that was with like add-ons. I have to pay £80 million up front to get Seabass in. I will do it. He will be mine. I promise you. They got another good player here called Nicolo Ravella. Obviously, people will recognise him from the real game as he's a real player. Played for Genoa for a number of years, but very good. The big one is Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is a game changer. He is literally amazing, and I'm desperate for him to stay. I said if someone offers £70 million to him, he's going to go. No one's come in with a bid yet. No one, just as yet. Troy Parrott is our number one striker, a player everyone knows an FM can turn out to be very, very good. Izzy is good though. as Super Harry Kane. No, he's not. Harry Kane is still here. Still never to win a title. Maybe under me, he will do. Although he's actually asked to leave, which I find baffling. So that's a rundown then of what's gone on, basically. A lot is the way I would put it. And you can tell here we are now 5th in the table to go up. We've got the best goalkeeper in the league, apparently, in Bogdanovic. He is one to watch out for. It's going to be difficult. There's a lot of really good teams in this league, as we know. This is not a year for me to go and win the title. This is a year for me to get into the Europa League and gradually build up from there. I think, oh my God, who's this Nelly Furtado? Oh my sweet God. It's going to take me a while to get up to that level. The important thing is I get European football. Get European football in, keep turning it over, keep rebuilding the squad year on year, and eventually we will get to where we need to be. Best thing is we've won all our friendlies, including games against Bayern Munich and Galatasaray, so I'm actually feeling relatively confident. We're going to be playing Guimarães in the Euro Cup to League Path, whatever it is. I'm not bothered about that. What I'm bothered about is our first fixture, and that is fortunately against Sheffield United, who hopefully we should beat. You know what formation we're going to be playing. There's no point in me pretending that we're not going to be playing it. It is, of course, the diamond that has worked so well. I've copied the tactic that I had at Sevilla and I've put it straight into this. And this is the lineup then today. So Bogdanovic is in goal, and you've got Harwood on the left, Pai, Parola and Almaraz as the back four, which I think could arguably be one of the best back fours in the league. Maybe if I get a better left back, if I had Seabass, it'd be perfect. Zilic is in the ball-winning midfielder role, but he's come up for a bit of a knock, so he probably won't play all 90 minutes. Santalo is in the box-to-box midfielder role. Guilherme is as the deep-line playmaker. Jude Bellingham is in support of Bates and Parrott. I will get myself another forward. I'm lacking in the forward areas, but at the back, I'm feeling very good indeed. So I'm hoping what will happen is that we'll be very good defensively, and maybe not quite as good going forward until I've sorted it. I tried to get Esposito, naturally, but Real Madrid, funnily enough, think, oh, actually, I quite would like him because he scored 37 goals in 33 games, whatever the hell it was. It was ridiculous. Anyway, I've said to the boys I expect to win. I'm happy to have my first day, my first game as manager. Let's see how we get on. If Dean Bates puts in a good performance here, I might not sell him. His rapid pace does excite me a little bit, to be fair. And so far, we're not doing anything, as Sheffield United have the first highlight of the season for us, and they hit it over the bar. Zito is actually a player of mine who I've literally just sold to them, so expect him to score today. It is going to take them a little while to get moving, but Guilherme, that's a good ball. I just like it. It's new players, new cult heroes, and if I can bring in some of the ones from Sevilla as well, I'll be delighted. But Guilherme, back to Almaraz. There's going to be a lot of good play coming from him. As Bates, maybe I can't sell him. Dean Bates has scored again. He scored a lot in the friendlies. He scored and got our first goal of the season today. Almaraz with the cross. I mean, I love him already. I also realised that Arsenal were after a lot of the players I was after. It was very disappointing. The amount of players I missed out on because other Premier League clubs had got there first was ridiculous. Like, instead of Bogdanovic, I could have got Robles for £30 million. He's not as good as Bogdanovic, don't get me wrong. He's nowhere near as good. But at the same time, like, would he have done a job? Yeah. Would I have saved £50 million, which could have helped me get someone else? Yeah, it would have done. Just about getting into Europe. That's got to be the aim this year. Zito whips in a decent ball. Good header away there by Jude Bellingham. Now, O'Regan on the ball here. Moving it forward to Tolosa. Great tackle by Bates. Go on, mate. Use your pace. Okay, even that's a bit far away for him. O'Regan's looking a little bit shaky with his yellow card. Humphreys on the ball. Not John, I might add. Galeno on the ball now. Whips it in. It's hit Almaraz. That can't be a penalty. Don't tell me that's a penalty, ref. Come on, the ball was like actually off the pitch. That can't be a... Referee says it's a penalty. Bollocks, Robert Jones. Bollocks, is that a penalty? Is Bogdanovic going to be a hero on his first day? He's got a chance to make himself one. Lake steps up. Bogdanovic versus Lake. Bogdanovic saves it. Oh, yes! I'm so glad. I wish I'd had him when we were at Fiorentina. I wish I'd had him. I'm saying I'm happy with the performance so far. We've been really solid, to be fair, at the back. A little bit disappointed maybe in some of the midfield. Santalo's not quite had the effect I was hoping with. Bellingham's been a little bit anonymous. We've not really dominated the game. They've had a lot more of it than we have. But Jude Bellingham now on the ball, driving forward with it. This is where we are. We should be quite good. As Troy Parrott goes in on goal, hits it. Decent save there by Livakovic. They've got a good keeper there at Sheffield United. Fair play. Guilherme back to Santalo. Lovely header out to Andy Harwood. Go on, Andy. Go on, Andy. Go on, Andy. Whips the ball in front post. Great play by Troy Parrott. That front post run. Both the fullbacks getting involved. Andy Harwood on the left. Almaraz on the right. Troy Parrott's got one. Dean Bates has got one. Both of my strikers are off and running. Boom. I really probably shouldn't sell Dean Bates. He looks really good. Lovely bias. We've not needed to be at our best in the slightest, but we've been playing... We've been relative... I don't want to say in control. We've had let them have a few shots, but I think that just comes with the nature of the formation. But the quality of them hasn't been great, apart from the penalty. And this is where we are good. Santalo to Bates. He's going to absolutely roast you, mate. He's so quick. Bates! Can't sell him. Can't sell him. Dean Bates is staying. Can't sell him. Enough. He's staying. What a goal by Dean Bates. You've got a place in my team, fella. 100%. It's lovely fear from Santalo, who's got an assist on his debut as well. Great take by Bates there. He evades John Humphreys. What a shot that is. Cannot sell him. Cannot sell him. He's way too good. Cannot sell him. Almaraz has run himself into the ground. He's coming off. Flores is going to come on for his first game for the club. And I might bring on Ravella. And I'm going to give... I'm going to take Zilic off. Because, as I said, he himself has been in a little bit of the wars recently. Santalo's going to drop back into that defensive midfielder position. I need to also get maybe a number 10. If Jude Bellingham gets injured, I don't really have another really good number 10. Unless, well, I have Gonçalves, but he's going to leave. So I need to figure that out. There's a few positions that I've not been able to sort. As Parola heads over, he should have scored, as the commentator there said. Should have buried that. That's a sitter by his standards. He's a very decent player. More importantly, though, is that Arsenal are bottling it already. So I've got to try and get myself into a Spurs mentality of not liking Arsenal, but I'm finding it difficult because obviously the ties I have to them. Let's just all be friends. Bates there just gets around a man. He gets around more. Bates tees it back. In comes Santalo. Carles Santalo. No matter where I go, he is... brilliant. What a finish. He just opens his body up, curls it into that far corner. 4-0. Hello, Tottenham. It took us a little while to get it going. A 4-0 win. A penalty save for Bogdanovic. Unbelievable. What a start. I think what we have to do is we have to look at this in isolation. In this save in isolation, going to Spurs is the right thing to do, regardless of my ties to Arsenal. That's in a different save. It's a different zone, okay? It's also following Mourinho's path, which makes this even more exciting for me. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. This is just where we're at now. We are at Spurs. I hope that everyone can understand the decision that I've made, and I hope that you're all looking forward to taking on the Premier League. This is going to be the biggest part, probably, of the project, because if I can get through this, win the Premier League, get my reputation up to a position where I can actually apply for the Real Madrid or Barcelona jobs, then I can tick off all the domestic leagues that Jose has won. That will be it, done and dusted, and that, to be fair, is half the challenge. And I'm also now in a position where European football is something I can achieve. I do feel like with Spurs I can win a Europa League. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. At the end of the day, I love hearing your feedback, even if it's probably going to be a bit negative because it's Spurs, but I'm a bottle job. Spurs are a bottle job. Two bottles make a winner. No? I don't know. Thank you so much for watching the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do drop a like on the video, share, and subscribe. And until I see you again, take care and stay cool. Stay cool? God, I can't even say my own catchphrase right. I bottled it already.